So hello everyone, hello students. We are in a very free conversation now with CA RITIK SINGHVI. बोलूं तो बराबर है. All right, from student to CA sounds very great. So we are in a very free conversation with RITIK SINGHVI, who has cleared CA Final May 22 with All India rank 22 and 77 marks in audit subject. So I am very happy with this, and we have him today with us, and we are going to ask a lot of questions. And we are going to drill him, all right, about everything that he knows, so that वो हमको बताए कि ऑडिट को इतना स्कोरिंग कैसे बना लिया है. ऑल राइट, आई एम 100% श्योर कि 99% उनकी मेहनत है, 1% ही सिर्फ हमारा कंट्रीब्यूशन है. 50-60 तक हम लोग क्लेम कर लेते हैं, पर 77 इन ऑडिट इज समथिंग ही वुड हैव डन अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स व्हिच आई एम नॉट अवेयर ऑफ. So I want to know from him. Yes, Ritik, congratulations. Welcome to this
Yes,
interview.
sir. Thank you
Yeah.
so much. Yeah.
So Ritik, the first things first, you need to first tell everyone, all right, that जब आपने वो results का button click किया and जो reaction आया, correct. So what was that reaction? You know, just describe us. Everyone would like to know.
So I mean, first of all, the results had came so early morning, like we were in half sleep, and ऐसे एक friend का message आता है कि results have came out. First of all, I thought that she's like seeing a dream that results have came out.
Yeah.
So I actually logged in, and then so I put in the roll number and all. So first, so we see the mark sheet, and then उसमें pass आया. So yeah, that was a great satisfaction.
Group 1, Group 2 pass.
Yes.
पहले तो वो देखना है.
Yes, so that was that, and generally like 550 is the that cross mark जिसके ऊपर rank होता है. So I have scored 572 in aggregate. So I thought that अभी rank तो रहेगा ही, check करते हैं. So then I checked the rank and it was 22. Like it was completely unexpected because getting in that top 25. So,
it is tough task, you know. And you have
yes,
bettered your rank of inter CA, correct?
Yes. So I got 27th rank in Inter CA. So even that had improved. So that was a great feeling. Yeah.
घर पे घर का feeling बताओ.
So मतलब ऐसे mom के सामने result check करता था, and I was like actually telling her that okay, I have passed and मेरा definitely rank आया होगा. Okay, I will check the rank. And mom was एकदम ऐसे पहले तो surprise कि pass हो गया and ठीक है rank भी है. Then I told her that I got a 22nd rank. Like she was so happy.
Super.
And so my dad wasn't at home at that time, so she had immediately called dad, and like dad was also एकदम extremely happy, congratulating me.
सुबह नाश्ते से सब कुछ मत मिला होगा.
सच्ची मतलब वही सब भूल गए थे, like कुछ खाना पीना सब भूल गए थे.
Yeah, it was awesome. So,
Yeah.
Ritik, along with your rank, what you have done, all right, is you are going to inspire a lot many people with your score in audit subject, all right. 77 in audit is not easy. Every one of us knows that, correct? तो आपको पता नहीं आप कितना पुण्य कमाने वाले हो with this particular thing that you are doing. You are going to help so many people. After the results, I have interacted with so many students who could not clear, because मैं पहले खुद को available करवाता हूँ for the students who haven't cleared because they need immediate support, correct?
Yes.
तो मुझे बहुत सारा ऐसा questions आया, सर कैसे करना है, क्या करना है, मैं अपनी तरीके से help कर रहा हूँ उन्हें. But I want you to throw some light upon how you have approached audit overall as well, because you are the attempt that went through a lot of changes because of pandemic, correct? So midway आपका face to face से online shift हुए हैं, and you have gone through a lot of things, correct? अभी तो चलो फिर भी face to face हो रहा है, but वो जो पूरा phase गया आपका, तो you need to throw light upon that. आपने first 2 years कैसे deal किया audit के साथ? फिर जब आप एग्जाम के नजदीक आने लगे, ड्यूरिंग सेल्फ स्टडी आपने क्या किया? So I'll divide into 3 parts. First couple of years, how much importance you gave to audit, correct? Then when you came near to self study, what you did in your study leave, and then exam ka preparation, number of revisions that you have done and stuff. You know, it will be very helpful for the students.
Okay. So first of all, like after clearing Inter CA and then getting into that articleship, obviously like किसी का फिर से पढ़ाई करने का मन तो नहीं करता है. So I had taken that as a 1-2 months ka break, but I had started my all the classes early, like right back in 2019 after I cleared Inter CA, and it was in 2-3 months I had started with the classes. So talking about audit, it was like I had thought that I will keep it in between only, like starting with FR and SFM, because there aren't much amendments in that. And end mein you have to do tax and law only. So I had thought of keeping audit in between. So I guess
12 months down the line इंटर से क्लियर करके 8-10 महीने हो जाने के बाद that is a good time to do audit, करें कुछ 6-8 महीने, that is good.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. So yeah, so after like 1 year of starting with those classes, I had started with audit with your lectures. So audit mein first of all I didn't know कि overall syllabus इतना बड़ा है, like CA Final में every subject
Every
syllabus is
subject
so
का ये
vast.
story है.
So yeah, so starting with those lectures of 2-3 hours daily, it took I guess about 3-4 months to complete that lecture. Like I used to see it at my own pace, like 6 hours on weekend and weekday
Recorded
pe.
lectures.
So yeah, I had your recorded lectures at that time.
Correct.
So yeah, I had seen it at my own pace. Like weekend pe I used to see 5-6 hours, and then weekday pe maybe like kabhi 1 घंटा या kabhi 3 hours, depending on what was the office load.
On a
So
lighter note, इसने 5-6 घंटे मुझे सहन किया एक साथ. All right, that is something that I am going to be very motivated about. Recorded lecture में सहन करना is very difficult. Yeah, good.
But yeah, actually, because as you said, so because of the pandemic, we had to adapt to that recorded lectures, online lectures. So that was quite a change.
Yes.
So like that, I had done my lectures. So along with the lectures, what I used to do, like you used to make us write a lot. So that was quite a great thing. All those flow charts and whatever summary notes. So that have helped like immensely throughout that audit journey. Yes, so I used to write the notes, and also so whatever textbook you had provided. So once you used to go through all those, like you used to read each and every sentence.
Yes.
So and after that, because it was recorded lectures, so I used to like pause it once and I used to read it myself also, so as to understand it in a better way. So like that, I had done my audit and audit lectures, and I had completed that about 8 to 9 months before study leave.
8 to 9 months before study leave.
Yeah. Yes.
बस अभी से आप उसके बाद क्या किया ना, वो रियल गेम है जो बच्चे जानना चाहते हैं.
Yes. So for that 8-9 months before study leave, I didn't touch audit at all, because one thing is for sure, ki whatever you will study at the end, you will remember that the most. Correct. So I thought ki I will do that audit and study leave only.
Okay.
So like that, so I had got a 5-month study leave for my CA final, and because exam got extended by 14 days, so that was an add-on. And so by so as the study leave started, I had thought that I will do at least 3 self-study of each and every subject.
For all subjects, so, 3 studies.
Yes. So I was done with my most of the lectures before study leave only. So
I planned accordingly. You did not have a lot of backlog or something like that.
Yes. So that's the most important. Yeah. That's the most important thing. Like you should try to be done with your lectures as much early as possible. Like by study leave, so you should be done. It's okay if it's like 1 or 2 subject is remaining, that's fine.
Right.
So I was done like with my 7 subjects, and 1 elective open book was remaining. So like that, I had planned at the start, I had planned 3 studies. So first study for each and every subject, it was in a complete detailed way. Like even though I had planned, okay, let's say for audit, I had planned 10 days in the first read. But again, like when you start doing it by yourself, then you realize, okay, how vast it is. And after starting with that, after 8-9 months, like even not 8-9 months, I would say I had started with audit in the 2nd month of study leave. So I was doing other subjects first.
So how like which kind of person you are? Sorry to interrupt. मेरे को जो बच्चे के क्वेश्चन में पूछा, which kind of person you are? One subject at a stretch खत्म करने का, कि theory subjects piecemeal पे करने का, practical half day करने का, ऐसा?
नहीं. So I used to stick with one subject only, and उसके लिए days allot किए थे, like audit के लिए 10 days and accordingly. And like order wise, I planned accordingly कि पहले I will pick a very vast subject like FR, उसके बाद एक छोटा subject उठा लिया law. So like that I had planned.
Tempo maintain.
Yes. So because like अगर जो vast subject है उसमें अगर 1-2 दिन extra भी लग गया तो I can cover up in that next subject. Yes. So वैसे like I had started with audit. So the first thing was that कि I realized कि audit में भी amendments होते हैं. So so वो obviously like बिल्कुल expected नहीं था, and इसलिए मैंने audit इतना पहले कर लिया था study leave के कि amendments नहीं होंगे इतने. So in our attempt,
your attempt went through that lot of problems.
Yeah.
I think it started from July 21 attempt. तो जो बिचारों ने July 21 किया था ना, ये first time इतना revision हुआ module का. I mean, July 21, December 21, May 22 went through a lot.
Yes, so like वही मतलब bank audit, then peer review, quality review. एंड फिर प्रोफेशनल एथिक्स में भी इतने अमेंडमेंट्स थे, लाइक जो फेवरेट चैप्टर होता है जनरली, अब उसमें अमेंडमेंट्स करने पड़ रहे थे.
करेक्ट.
सो ऐसे अमेंडमेंट्स काफी थे. सो फर्स्ट स्टडी में ही मैंने डिसाइड कर लिया कि ठीक है अभी ये 10 days अगर एक्सटेंड भी होंगे, आई हैव टू बी डन विद ऑल द अमेंडमेंट्स.
करेक्ट.
So like I had seen your lectures were also there, I guess, on peer review, quality review,
Yeah.
and bank audit also, I guess it was there. So your lectures, then study module. So jahan se bhi from where I can collect the amendments. Yeah. So I collated everything, and then your textbooks were there, and all your self-written notes. So first I started with flow-wise. I started with standards on auditing, and then going to professional ethics because that gives you a boost.
करेक्ट. वो
I guess
थोड़ा
compared to others.
बीच में बूस्ट आता है. करेक्ट. करेक्ट.
हाँ, मतलब वो स्टार्टिंग में अगर लाइक कॉन्फिडेंस भी आता है कि ठीक है ऑडिट आता है कुछ. And then like moving from those chapter to the, and so yeah, that's the most important thing in CA final compared to inter CA, that in CA final you have to give importance to other topics like standards on audit.
Standards पर yes, you are going on a very good point. You are talking about those chapters like audit of banks, insurance, NBFC, peer audit review. ये चिल्ला के बोलो इनको, ये लोग समझते नहीं है. करेक्ट. कि ये जो छोटे टॉपिक्स है, you have to give importance to them. Correct.
Because like standards में क्या होता है, like जो questions मेरे attempt में आए थे, तो standards में it is like कि वो direct click हो गया तो हो गया कि ये ठीक है ये standards आया है. Otherwise you won't know how to answer that. Then वो फेंकना ही पड़ता है.
थोड़ा बहुत तो adulteration होता ही है language में. But can I say that ये जो छोटे-छोटे topics उसमें benefit ये है that is more straightforward.
Yes, completely. Like जैसे इंश्योरेंस ऑडिट में वो जो ऐसे स्पेसिफिक टॉपिक्स है, प्रीमियम्स वगैरह, सो वहाँ पे यू नो इट, भले ठीक है लाइक 10 points you may not remember, but at least 3-4 points as a special points होंगे which you will remember. Yes. So other topics का वो definitely benefit at least in bank and insurance audit. So talking about these other topics, I would speak a little more on this. So for specifically bank and insurance audit में what problem I faced is कि हर एक item का they have given various points like how to audit this, and I'm not from an audit articleship background, so
वाह, ये तो सुपर डुपर मोटिवेशनल डोज आ गया, ये मुझे भी नहीं पता था. सुपर.
So I had a completely tax background in articleship. So for me, audit was like कि अभी I have to understand it from the book only. Okay, this is how we do it. And even you in your lectures, you used to give some as a practical examples. So that was also helpful. So like this, I had planned in this other audit, bank audit and insurance audit, that some items like cash हो गया and ऐसे बहुत basic items है which you even don't do it thoroughly. You can just put forth any points in the exam. So you can just like read it once. But then some specific items हो गया जैसे insurance,
purchase of NPA.
Yeah, even in bank account NPA. Yes.
वो insurance में solvency margin ये वो मतलब उसमें तो पढ़ना ही पड़ेगा.
So वैसे जो भी first read में मैंने वो किया था कि even if I have your textbook, मैं उसमें at least वो points highlight कर दूंगा कि these are the most important points, जैसे as you said कि solvency margin, ये एक भले वो
This is very important what RITIK is trying to say. I want students to focus on this. What he's trying to say is that you don't have to be master of one. You try to be jack of all in these topics. Correct? आप हर एक point ऐसा याद रखो कि suggest answer tally हो. Correct? So you will not score 0 in these areas, and that will ensure that you try to get above exemption. Very good strategy. Yes.
So like trust me, like once I get my suggested answer, like the copy of my answer sheet, trust me, I like have written 50% of institute's language and 50% was mine only, because in audit that's the most difficult thing, that you can't remember the language. Like company audit, professional ethics is fine, you can remember the clauses and sections, but at least balance, I would say 70% around audit. Like
perfect.
Yes, you cannot remember the language. So wherever like specific points are there, like again I said like solvency margin, and then ये sale purchase of NPA, उसमें कैसा है कि there are specific points like ये कोई years दिया है या कोई percentage दिया है, कोई time limit दिया है. So at least you can remember that, and उसमें से
लिखा था एग्जाम में तो फटाक से मार्क्स दे देगा. Perfect.
Yes, so वो specific points तो you have to remember. And then again ये फिर other chapters में जैसे peer review, quality review हो गया, तो जहाँ पे भी you can remember things. It's not like you have to mug up everything. जैसे वो level 1, level 2 practice units and everything was given, but you should like keep on reading. So I will come to that also. So your audit is one thing, like you have to constantly keep on reading. So in my first study, I had thought ki I would complete all the chapters at once only, so I know how to approach the audit when I do my second study. Like what are the important areas? Like I had sorted out everything. Okay, this in this chapter, this will be the important area. I will pay twice the attention in second study to this area, and जो unimportant area hai, maybe I will glance through it in half the time than what I have put in first
Super,
study.
super, super.
So you have to sort out everything in your first study only. Bhale wo, like even if I said ki 10 days, I took 10 days, you take 11 days, 12 days, it's fine. But you should be clear, okay, in my second study, I can do this in 5 days or let's say 6 days. So you have to be clear about that. And also at the start only, you have to plan that how will you do this in 1.5 days. So like Pragnesh sir gave us summary notes. So they were there, written notes. So they were there. And then also like other chapters are there. So in that also you have to make a sequence. Okay, these are the
बराबर, आप
important
खुद का भी
chapters.
समरीज
I will do
बनाते
that
हो,
first.
lots of things that you do, correct?
Yes, yes. So you have to like segregate those chapters. Okay, I will do this first, and which are the chapters? Like you have to even plan on that 1.5 day. I will give 3 hours to this chapter, and I will give
Perfect,
just a
perfect,
half an hour or 10 minutes to this chapter.
perfect.
So everything like you have to get that clear in the first study. And what I did was that with my first study only, I was giving test series also, because written practice is important, even though
Super.
it's a theory, even though like you would say it's a theory subject.
नहीं नहीं,
But
तो बहुत important है.
yes. So what's the most important thing in a theory subject is that, okay, you have read that over 10 days and now you will write a paper. So you will see those first of all from all the chapters questions will be mixed. So even जो आपने first day पे पढ़ा रहेगा,
Correct.
fifth day पे पढ़ा रहेगा, all those questions will be mixed, and then you will know, okay, that's my grasping power. I know these keywords. I know this concept. So writing practice, even though it's a theory subject, I would recommend it's like utmost important. I preferred giving a full-fledged test only. You can even
Super.
try for unit test and chapter
बराबर है,
test.
थोड़ा थोड़ा
So
प्रैक्टिस जो भी
yes,
हुआ, correct.
yes. So at least you will know, okay, how much I am remembering, and if you are not remembering, then where you have to work upon. Like for me, standards on auditing, but okay, because easy, like because you do that in Inter C also, and I had taken coaching from Pragnesh sir only in Inter C also. So आपने I guess extra standards भी कराए थे, जो वो 700 series के या जो extra standards होते हैं, आपने like सब 35 standards सब कराए थे, even though Inter C में इतने importance नहीं होते हैं. So ओवरऑल वो एक सब स्टैंडर्ड्स इंटर सीए में कवर हो गए थे, एंड फाइनल सीए में भी थोड़े एडिशनल पॉइंट्स होंगे. सो स्टैंडर्ड्स वर इजी. देन प्रोफेशनल एथिक्स में भी यू विल रिमेंबर द पॉइंट्स, इट्स जस्ट दैट इट्स टू मच टू रिमेंबर, but you will eventually like don't panic at the start ki,
you know, if you are in a
yes,
calm mind, it clicks, correct.
yes. So don't panic at the start कि you are not remembering anything. And as I said कि अगर टेस्ट सीरीज दोगे and जैसे वो क्लिक होगा ना, भले ठीक है 10 क्लॉजेस में से अगर एक क्लॉज भी आपको क्लिक हो रहा है ना, तो you will get that confidence. Okay, I'm remembering something.
ये लोग टेस्ट सीरीज में देते
So
ना,
yes,
क्या करते हैं पता है, फर्स्ट टेस्ट में खुद को जज कर लेते हैं. अब जब आप
yeah,
साइकिल
you
सीखते
shouldn't
हो
do
तो
that.
फर्स्ट टाइम आप गिरोगे ना, करेक्ट. तो फर्स्ट
So
टेस्ट
I
में
had got, yeah.
कौन आते हैं.
So I had got the lowest in, like one was FR and audit had got the lowest marks out of all. And even my dad used to say that you will score such marks, how you're even going to clear CA finals. I told him that it's just 2-3 months down the study limit, like it's just
Correct.
halfway down. I still have half more way to go. I will improve this marks. So yeah, you shouldn't judge on your first test only. In fact, you should then see where you have gone wrong, okay, what you are doing wrong, and take guidance from whomsoever you're taking the test series, that
Perfect,
okay,
perfect.
where can I improve. So that will help a lot. So overall, like this was my first study, and like this, so my all the subjects first study nearly took about 2.5 months, because I was like, I was not seeing the time ki I have to do this in 1 month or something. I was just saying I have to do it completely exhaustively, that in my second revision I know, okay, this is what I have to do. I won't
छोड़
do
नहीं देना
anything
है,
extra.
वन स्टार्ट करके छोड़ नहीं देना, you have to
Yes,
finish it, correct, very good.
yes. And so yeah, that's what I'm saying ki you have to be क्लियर कि यही चीज सेकंड स्टडी में भी पढ़ोगे, सेकंड स्टडी में कुछ नया चीज आ गया, डोंट जंप टू न्यू थिंग. ठीक है, एमटीपी एंड आरटीवीज विल कम लेटर, यू कैन रेफर दैट, बट डोंट जंप टू एनी न्यू बुक्स और डोंट जंप टू एनी न्यू कंसेप्ट. इवन इफ इन अगर फर्स्ट स्टडी में you feel some concept is hard and you can skip concepts. It's not like you have to stick to something. जैसे for me insurance audit was a bit difficult,
Correct,
because like going through those points I can't like connected with the practical world, because I haven't worked in an insurance company. So
correct,
it's difficult to connect. So what I used to do, okay, I will just glance and yeah, so in the module at least they have given of too much of points in this other
Yeah,
chapters. And see, for knowledge purpose it's great,
correct.
but at least for exam, even if you see like the timing, you won't be able to write that. Even if that's an open book, you won't be able to write that everything for that 4 or 5 marks question.
Correct.
So for that, you can segregate out like 8 points. You won't be able to write 8 points also, trust me, because exam mein, like time is a very
Big
much
problem.
concern. So you can at least sort out 7-8 points, so that उसमें से 4-5 points जो पहले click होंगे, you can just jot it down in the exam. And then ठीक है, अगर time बचता है तो 1-2 point फिर ठोक ही सकते हो, मतलब वो examiner भी I don't think end तक पहुंचेगा वो answer के.
Yeah.
So he's just going to focus on the start. So at least जो ये vouching items है जहाँ पे काफी सारे points है, again you have to do this in the first study only कि ठीक है, I will do these 8 points only, then I will do these 8 points only.
Perfect.
But yeah, so one gamble you will be doing here is that for MCQs they can ask everything, like that's a risk.
But then again, what are the factual things, correct? In other chapters,
so
factual things are more prone for MCQs, you know.
Yes, guys. So at least like in my attempt, if MCQs I speak about, so yeah, factual things were at least out of 30 marks, 20 marks were those. Then for that 4-5 marks, you have to play that gamble. Like rather than remembering those 20 points, it's okay to just like play on that 4-5 marks.
Correct.
So yeah, so that's how you have to approach the other chapters. And one of the most difficult chapter that in audit I face is tax audit.
Yeah, I can understand. There's too much of stuff, one question coming out of that, and you know, too much of stuff. I can understand that.
So for tax audit also, like I had referred some summary notes which are available on Telegram.
Yeah.
So yes. So
वो उसमें से वो better हो जाता है that, you know.
Yes, मतलब module तो you can't do only.
मैंने tax audit का पूरा summary notes ही बना दिया है. I had uploaded on my app and everywhere. I know students उसमें detail में नहीं जाएंगे.
Now for tax audit, so even I did those summary notes. Trust me, exam में जो question आया, I didn't remember it. So, but you shouldn't leave it. Like अगर उसमें से easy question भी आ गया, then you can just write and it will be a bonus mark. Trust me. अगर वो एक clause number भी याद आ गया कि ठीक है ये clause 11 and वो first line में अगर clause दिख गया ना, you get the 1 mark there only.
Correct.
Then you write anything what you have to check in that. And so for tax audit, I would say yes, you should refer to the summary notes. Yeah. And for that summary notes also, you should glance through because you can't remember the clause.
You can't remember everything.
Professional ethics के clause number याद हो गया, that's the greatest thing. So tax audit, don't do that. So yeah, one thing was great that so ICI has released the MCQ booklet. So for that also I had referred to you that MCQ video.
Correct.
So you had told in that also that at least इसमें जो clause numbers है tax audit के, yes. So yeah, you can do that. I don't think मेरा time में कोई tax audit का MCQ आया था, I don't remember. So but yeah, you should do the ICI MCQ booklet. I will come to that also. So in my first study, I didn't do the MCQs because as I said, like 10 days का 12 days stretch हो गया था, and MCQs and मेरे को चाहिए भी था कि MCQs का कोई video है because I had started doing the first 10 MCQs and trust me, for me, out of the 4 subjects जिसमें MCQs है, audit MCQs are the most difficult. Difficult in the sense that I can't say कि इसका answer क्या होगा, मतलब reasoning is very difficult.
January 22 में नया booklet आया था. So many को मैंने पूरा sort किया था that okay this ये ऐसा topic में से है.
Yes, you had given the references also. ठीक है, ये standard का ये clause है and ये provision है. So yeah, so I was waiting for some ऐसे किसका lecture आ जाए something, so I didn't do it at the first study. And आपका I guess February या March में कुछ आया था MCQ का. So yeah, so then I moved on to my second study, and second study was I guess for audit it was 1 month before exams, or 1.5 months. So yeah, so one thing I would like to say, I had initially planned I would do 3 studies, but you know, like it's very difficult to keep up with a schedule. So my at least this first 2 time studies had went up to nearly, I would say nearly it was 20th April I had ended. And I had just for exams 24 days. I could have done a third study in that, but what I did in place of that, I will come to that later. So in my second study, again, I refer to the same things, whatever I had referred in first study. So one thing I would like to say is कि even it happened with me also कि first study में जब पढ़ोगे and when you will close those books, if you are doing a single subject at once, when you close those books at the whatever x number of days, and if you try to remember कि मैंने first day पे क्या पढ़ा था, trust me, it's going to be very difficult. Even when you write those test series, you will realize it's going to be very difficult. So
गलत
it's fine
जजमेंट
if
ले
you don't
लेते हैं लोग,
remember.
गलत जजमेंट, you know,
Yes.
they just try to be too critical on themselves. Correct.
Yeah, so like one thing what I told to myself, ठीक, I have those second read, third read, I have those exam day, and how many times I will study, that will help me at the end. So
Correct.
first study में I completely खुद को मना लिया था कि ठीक है याद नहीं रहने वाला है, and so second study, when I started with my second study and I'm going through those same topics again, then वो जैसे एक एक पॉइंट क्लिक होता है ना, तब you will get that confidence. Okay, I remember this point. Okay, I remember this concept. So you have to be patient. You have to wait for that key. When you will again study that, you will remember that. You have to trust on yourself. ऐसे, so even if you see those question, या if you see that एक line भी देखोगे तो you will remember the balance part of the answer ऐसा.
Yes, वो धीरे धीरे
So
कॉन्फिडेंस आना शुरू होता है फिर. करेक्ट.
so वही सेकेंड स्टडी में ऐसे थोड़ा कॉन्फिडेंस आया. ओके ठीक है, आई एम रिमेम्बरिंग थिंग्स, बट फॉर ऑडिट to get that confidence is again very difficult, because like I know audit mein, it's the language is difficult and it's difficult to connect with the real world, because it's like very much of a theory subject. And
इसलिए
so
स्टार्ट किया मैंने,
yeah.
कंपटीशन भी कम है इसमें, ऑन अ लाइटर नोट.
Okay. So for audit, when I was doing my second study, many of my friends and colleagues have told me that audit, what you should do is till exam ki 1 hour daily you should do. For generally people do this for audit and law. Yeah, yes. So law में I was comfortable, तो मैंने audit रखा था उसके लिए. So second study जैसे मैंने finish किया, उसके बाद I had decided कि ठीक है, I will do 1 hour audit daily. And trust me, that has helped me a lot. Even if you can start that after your first study, like that will be amazing. Then it will be another level of
study at a
confidence.
stretch of 10-12 days.
Yeah.
Then there are two options. Either after first study you can daily revise little, all right, or after second study like what you did, correct, after that you can revise a little. Okay.
Yes. So even though that, like for me, even if I did 1 hour for 1 month, I wasn't able to cover the whole audit subject again. So I was able to cover still a substantial part, and that had helped me in that 1.5 days. Okay. So yeah, coming to this now, why I couldn't do my third study, or why I didn't do my third study. So rather I had planned, so I hadn't done with the MCQs. MCQs were pending, all those MCQ booklets. So first thing I decided, okay, I have to be like done with this MCQ booklets anyhow. So I did that. And second thing I focused upon was, so what my approach was there, I didn't used to focus more on questions, like at least in this theory subjects, I used to focus on the theory part, whatever was a conceptual part. So I'd focus more on the theory part. And
very good point you are trying to say. लोग ना क्वेश्चन बैंक के पीछे बहुत भागते हैं. I can understand, but अगर आप ऐसे 210 सपोज कर रहे हो, तो उसका भी 6 कंसेप्ट है, तो 6 कंसेप्ट के 2-2 3-3 पॉइंट अगर आप याद रख लो, करेक्ट, और एक दो केस स्टडी बेस्ड क्वेश्चन हो सकते हैं, यू आर डन विद दैट. अब आप 10 क्वेश्चन बैंक भी रेफर करो, इट इज नॉट गोइंग टू ऐड ऑन टू समथिंग. करेक्ट.
सो ऑडिट में दैट्स अ वेरी मतलब काफी डिफिकल्ट होता है कि एग्जाम में जाके क्वेश्चन रीड करके आपको समझे कि ये क्वेश्चन कहाँ से है, किससे रिलेटेड है. सो ऑडिट में दैट्स मोस्ट लाइक वन ऑफ द डिफिकल्टी. तो इसलिए आई डिसाइडेड कि वंस आई वाज डन विद दिस 2 स्टडीज, आई वाज कॉन्फिडेंट, ओके ठीक है, आई विल रिमेंबर द स्टफ व्हेन आई डू इट इन बिफोर दैट एग्जाम. So what I decided, rather than doing my third study full-fledged pura audit, now I jump to question bank. Now why I jump to question bank was कि you should be like comfortable with the questions, the way questions are asked.
Correct.
Yes. So you
but
should be comfortable with that.
Agree to this.
Yes.
I want to know your unbiased view, not because I'm a professor.
Yes.
You do agree to this कि कुछ बच्चे शॉर्टकट यूज करते हैं कि कोई स्कैनर वैनर मार्केट में अवेलेबल है, डायरेक्ट उसमें से पढ़ो, कंटेंट पढ़ने की जरूरत नहीं है. Is that a suicide?
Yes sir, definitely. And problem क्या होगा कि I don't know, मतलब most of the question banks वैसे segregate नहीं करेंगे. जैसे अगर मतलब वो जैसे standard का flow है, maybe वो question wise segregate नहीं करे. Generally people what they do is attempt wise segregate कर देते हैं. जैसे attempt में जैसा है, तो उसमें क्या होगा कि वो एक flow तो मिलेगा नहीं कि वो standard का क्या flow है, या वो मतलब जो भी chapter उसका flow क्या है. So you have to like stick with the conceptual part or whatever the theory part is there from
But I
wherever you are
really like this.
referring.
And then at the end, you
Yes.
can shift your focus on the question bank. Very good.
Yes, so like even like what I said, like there were 24 days I had remaining before exams. I had to plan what I had to do. So I did with the MCQ booklets. Like for audit, it took me 2 days, and
हाँ यार,
मतलब
बहुत
full
बड़ा book
booklet.
है.
Yeah, and it's so yeah, one difficulty you will face is that, okay, rather I would suggest that you should do the MCQ booklet at least with your first study or second study. So one difficulty I faced was कि I couldn't link all the concepts, and MCQ booklet में क्या है कि ऐसा ऐसे
बहुत
chapter wise
important.
उन्होंने MCQs नहीं दिया, like it can be from anywhere, and ऐसा भी नहीं दिया है कि from this chapter this MCQ has been asked, like your summary, that whatever the MCQ summary you had prepared. So that had helped a lot in that, okay, this MCQ is from this standard, this MCQ is from this chapter. But still, like what I used to do, I used to solve that MCQ by myself first. So
Very
so one difficulty, if you keep the MCQ booklet for last, that one difficulty you will face is key, you will get demotivated. I'm not getting this MCQ from where it is. Why is this answer is this and why not this? So rather, I would suggest you should do at least the MCQ booklet with your first or second study,
perfect.
because then you will be, and after completing your first study, not in between, because the MCQ booklet is jumbled up, and
कहीं से भी आता है.
stick to the ICI's MCQ booklet. Please don't refer to any other MCQ booklet. Like that's so much exhaustive, and I guess ICI will be
It's very
updating it
good.
with every attempt. So that's so exhaustive, and even though I won't say, and I
I'll
don't
tell you,
even,
Ritik, I'll tell you, Ritik, something. After that MCQ booklet of the ICI, I got so inspired
yes.
that now I've developed my own MCQ book with 1100 plus MCQs. I'm
Okay.
going to launch it, and it includes ICI MCQs. Correct.
Okay.
So you know,
Yeah.
then वो MCQ मैंने एकदम difficult level के बनाया, because easy level के तो MCQ
Okay.
है नहीं उसके अंदर. Correct.
You used to put on the Telegram also MCQs. I
The
joined
same
your
I'm
channel also.
compiling
Yeah.
everything. Yeah.
Yes. So वो MCQs also I used to attempt on your Telegram. मतलब वो तो ऐसे randomly कभी भी mobile use कर रहे. मतलब what I used to do, so rather than using social media like Instagram or Facebook, I used to spend my break time on Telegram. मतलब ऐसे हर एक channel पे कुछ नया आता था. So and yeah, so one caution here, अगर Telegram पे time waste करना, if you start like wasting such time, so you have to be caution about the time. फिर पता नहीं चलेगा कि वो कितने hours उसमें चले गए.
Correct.
And don't join unnecessary groups वगैरह. Like what I have done is, for one subject, one faculty. So for audit, I had joined your channel, one subject, one faculty. Don't like
Good.
join multiple channels.
Good.
So that was one thing. So yes, in my this what I was saying is, so in place of this, so MCQ booklet, you have to do it with your first or second study. That's one thing. For question bank, at least for audit subject or whatever the theory subject is there, what you should do is like first at least do 2 times studies of the conceptual or the theory part, because if you do question bank with that, it's going to take a lot of time, trust me.
Perfect.
Like it will take the double time. So at least 2 times you should study with the conceptual part only, and third time if you need चाहिए तो like whatever time you have before the exams, depending on that, you can do complete full study once again audit, and फिर उसके साथ question banks देख ले. maybe कोई difficult chapters के जैसे question bank में मैंने कैसे किया कि professional ethics में ठीक है मेरे को content तो आता है, but how are the questions asked, how are the case studies asked. Correct. And I guess you had prepared that one summary also, like as a one liners.
Compiler, correct.
Yeah, so in fact मैंने वो पहले refer किया rather than referring any question bank, क्योंकि वो कंपाइलर से ऐसे कॉन्फिडेंस भी बूस्ट आएगा, बिकॉज प्रोफेशनल एथिक्स ठीक है याद रह जाएगा, एंड वो कंपाइलर से काफी बूस्ट आया. ओके ठीक है, केस स्टडी पढ़ के आई कैन लिंक इट विद द क्लॉजेस. सो लाइक दिस व्हाइल डूइंग द क्वेश्चन बैंक, व्हाट यू हैव टू मोर फोकस ऑन कि ये क्वेश्चन पढ़ के कि मेरे को ये समझ रहा है यानी फ्रॉम व्हाट चैप्टर इट हैज बीन आस्क्ड. लाइक व्हाट आई यूज्ड टू डू इज कि I used to like randomly take questions. The question bank होता था. I used to randomly pull out a page and मैं ऐसे randomly वो question
going to
पढ़ता
happen
था.
in the paper. Perfect.
Yes.
ये
ऐसे
थोड़ा
see
अलग
either you
अच्छा सुनने मिला ऋतिक. Very
like आपने lectures के time भी आपने question answers कराए थे. One thing was that. So वो lectures के साथ तो जो questions covered हुए वो है ही है. So उसके बाद मैंने ये सीधा before 1 month before exam I was seeing that questions. So मैं randomly ऐसे कोई भी page उठाता था and I used to see that question. At least मतलब for like some chapters I did that, and फिर ठीक है, फिर for whatever the balance questions were left I then went chapter wise. So ऐसे पूरा क्वेश्चन बैंक तो एक बार तो I did cover, because उस क्वेश्चन बैंक से क्या होगा कि एक कॉन्फिडेंस जरूर आएगा कि ठीक है, I can link the question with this chapter. And yeah, so what I was saying is, you read the question, you have to just link it. Okay, ये chapter से ये question है, ये chapter में ये concept से है. Let's say the standard का question है, standard में maybe 4-5 concepts रहेंगे, ये concept से this question is that. बस वो link किया, that's enough. वो पूरा answer पढ़ने का जरूरत नहीं है, because वो answer कुछ नहीं होगा जो like what at least I have seen in your books. हाँ, वही स्टैंडर्ड का वो कंसेप्चुअल पार्ट का ही वो कट कॉपी पेस्ट है, आंसर पढ़ने का जरूरत नहीं है. इफ यू आर लाइक करेक्ट विद द आंसर, देन इट्स गुड. सो वैसे आई डिड द क्वेश्चन बैंक फॉर theory subject, all the theory subjects I would say, so for audit as well. And so yeah, that was my overall preparation during the study leave, or 2 studies of audit, and then doing the question bank and MCQ booklet. And yeah, then the MTPs, RTPs, like
perfect.
So MTPs and RTPs I kept ekdam last mein, like once I'm done with all this, whatever I have to prepare, like question bank ho gaya, MCQ booklet ho gaya, ye sab hone ke baad I had now started with MTPs, RTPs, past papers. And past papers, I would say ki, in fact, all this, most of the things are covered in the question bank nowadays. आप कोई भी question bank लो, most of the things are covered.
Perfect.
Yes. So, but ठीक है, जो भी आपके attempt का RTP, MTP आएगा, वो तो करना ही पड़ेगा. And for May 22, I would say like RTPs was so amazing. At least some subjects के तो RTPs were too good.
Yes, I remember. Yeah.
मतलब at least audit, in fact audit में नहीं, I would say every subject में amendments cover किए थे उन्होंने RTPs में. हर amendment पे एक question था. I would say audit में भी.
They had taken a lot of effort RTP when May 20.
RTPs were quite good, and MTPs भी ऐसा था कि मतलब there were 2 sets of MTPs. So one set was quite good. So MTPs I didn't solve again because I had done with my test series and everything. So MTP में भी, but ऐसा था कि I used to read the question and then I used to think about the answer. ऐसा नहीं कि question answer read किया. Yes. So I was done with that. And past papers में there were some ऐसे difficult attempts. जैसे you would know, I guess आप lectures में बोलते होंगे, जैसे audit का July attempt was the most difficult.
अरे बाबा, July 21.
Yes, July 21. So what I did was कि एकदम ऐसे एग्जाम के थोड़े बहुत दिन पहले I picked ऐसे एक पेपर जो एकदम डिफिकल्ट था, लाइक ऑडिट का July 21 हो गया, एंड ऐसे मतलब SFM का November 20, तो ऐसे एक सब्जेक्ट के
November 20 SFM was also.
So ऐसे एक सब्जेक्ट के एक पेपर वर क्वाइट डिफिकल्ट. So and वो you will realize कि you will do with this question bank, अगर उधर attempt का लिखा होगा तो you will realize, मतलब July 21 के जब भी क्वेश्चन आते थे वो एक माइंडसेट ही बन गया था, ये क्वेश्चन नहीं आने वाला मुझे. एंड वो वैसा था भी नहीं
करके गए आप खुद को, मतलब.
Yes, so it was so difficult. And so एकदम लास्ट में I had did that कि एक पेपर मैंने ऐसे सॉल्व किया. And like ठीक है, जुलाई ऐसे डिफिकल्ट पेपर्स थे तो ऑब्वियसली उतना कॉन्फिडेंस भी नहीं आया, बट आई हैड डन दोस क्वेश्चंस बिफोर व्हाइल डूइंग द क्वेश्चन बैंक, तो एक बार के लिए आई न्यू कि ये कौन से क्वेश्चंस है.
गुड.
So I had done that preparation, then this exam started. So for audit, so audit I guess it's a third paper or fourth paper, right?
Third paper.
वो कंफ्यूज हो. So yeah, so what the thing was that कि हम लोग का SFM के पहले 2 days हॉलीडे था. मतलब सेकंड पेपर था, उसके 2 days हॉलीडे.
ऑडिट में 1.5 days था, बट SFM का लिटिल हॉलीडे यू कुड हैव यूज्ड फॉर ऑडिट.
Yes. तो मैंने वही किया कि जो मतलब FR का जो एग्जाम दे के आया, that half day I had used for audit. And उसमें कैसे किया मैंने, like generally अगर आप 1.5 day में स्टार्ट करोगे तो people start with professional ethics only, but since I was doing ऐसे 2-3 days before, तो मैंने एकदम अदर चैप्टर्स उठाए जो मेरे को पता है कि ये मे बी एग्जाम डे पे टाइम भी ना मिले इसको देखने का.
इंडिविजुअल
अदर चैप्टर
जैसे ऑडिट PSU और समथिंग लाइक दैट.
यस हाँ. सो सब चैप्टर्स आई पिक्ड अप एंड मतलब 2-3 hours I gave audit course in. So for other chapters I had done that. Now coming to the 1.5 day before this audit paper, so like as soon as you come and like give your paper and come home, obviously you will take a rest of half hour or 1 hour something.
Yes.
Then so one thing you will realize in while that 1.5 day, that you have to compromise on sleep. So I was a person who never compromised on sleep during my study leave. Like for me, sleep was important. Whether I meet my target or not, I am going to complete my sleep. But for that 1.5 day, you have to compromise, because for audit, I would say like it's so vast portion is there. So I had prepared the list of chapters. How would I approach like professional ethics pehle, then standards on auditing, a bunch of standards pehle, beach mein other chapters, then other bunch of standards.
So the
I
tempo
prepared
was
that. Yes. So I had prepared that sequence, and वैसे I was approaching. So of like जो half day exam दे के आया था, in that half day I would say professional ethics I decided कि I would complete that in 2 hours or 3 hours, but professional ethics felt so vast, and मतलब वो पूरा I guess half day उसमें ही चला गया था professional ethics, and एक other chapter उठाया था, so audit of PSU something. Then मतलब अभी पता ही था कि एग्जाम के पहले वाला दिन का स्लीप तो जाने ही वाला है, like I won't get time, so ये उसके पहले ये वाली नाइट पे I slept properly, and I was an early riser. I used to rise early and study in the morning. So like that I started in that one whole day. I started early in the morning and जो भी sequence of chapters था वो follow किया, and उसमें भी I had decided ऐसे time allot किया था कि जैसे professional ethics को 3 hours हो गया, ये bunch of standards को 1.5 hour हो गया. So I wasn't able to meet any of those targets. Like ऐसे अगर जैसे peer review quality कोई ऐसे अच्छा chapter हो गया जिसमें maybe half an hour में हो जाएगा तो ठीक है, वो time पे हो जाता था. So like that I wasn't able to keep up with that schedule, and then it was late night, मतलब next day exam था, and I had a lot to do, मतलब I thought okay I have to compromise on the whole sleep, but what I rather did was कि, and in fact audit में I slept the least amount of time, एक audit and direct tax I slept the least amount of time. तो audit में क्या हुआ कि since I hadn't slept properly, it affects your that 3 hours exam time, trust me. मैंने MCQs मतलब मेरे को आते हुए मैंने 2 MCQs गलत मार्क किए थे, मतलब एक बार and pencil से, that's greatest thing that we mark the MCQs with pencil. So एक बार MCQs mark कर दिए थे, I used to again go through that properly I have marked or not. So because of that, like sleep deprived, I didn't mark that MCQ also properly. So sleep is important. Even though you हाँ वही उसी टाइम रेक्टिफाई कर दिया, मतलब मैं वो फिर करता ही था, लाइक ऑडिट ही इनफैक्ट फर्स्ट पेपर था, ऑडिट में रियलाइज हो गया कि एमसीक्यूज गलत मार्क हो रहे थे, तो हर पेपर में किया. सो मतलब वो ठीक है वो, एंड व्हाट आई यूज्ड टू डू इज कि दे से कि एमसीक्यू शीट में मार्किंग नहीं कर सकते, तो मैं क्या करता था एकदम लाइट मार्किंग कर लेता था आंसर के बाद.
थोड़ा तो लगता है मार्किंग से.
हाँ तो एकदम लाइट मार्किंग कर लेता, फटाफट मैंने वो एक 2 मिनट में वो चेक कर लेता कि मैंने बराबर मार्क किया है या नहीं, बिकॉज मे बी ऐसा हो सकता है गाइड में 1-2 MCQs भी गलत मार्क हो गया एंड लाइक 2 marks 3 marks like that will just go waste. So I did that from audit and then in every other subject. So yeah, so you have to keep the sleep properly, like I won't say like 6-7 hours sleep, you won't be able to achieve that, so at least like get that 4-5 hours of sleep before exam anyhow. So what I did was okay, I have to like again coming to that one day जो चल रहा था exam के पहले, so night में I had a lot of chapters remaining. So what I decided that अब ये chapters में मैं एकदम glance through करूँगा, because one thing you have to be sure कि कोई भी chapter skip करके नहीं जाना है before exam.
वरना वो back of the mind पे चलता रहता है यार.
भले वो टैक्स ऑडिट जैसा चैप्टर क्यों ना हो, मतलब एक बार तो glance through कर ही दो टैक्स ऑडिट को, पहले ठीक है एग्जाम में याद आया नहीं, like that's on your luck कि क्या क्वेश्चन आए and whether you remember it or not. But like at least जो conceptual part है, like question bank का टाइम मिलेगा ही नहीं, it's like मेरे को नहीं मिला question bank का टाइम. Yes, so at least जो conceptual part है वो तो completely go through करना है, and you will improvise on that. You will only realize कि मैंने इतना टाइम अलॉट किया है, जैसे मैंने प्रोफेशनल एथिक्स काफी डिटेल में किया, मतलब I wanted to do that in detail, तो मैंने उसमें एक्स्ट्रा टाइम अलॉट किया, एंड जैसे टाइम कम पड़ता कि you will only improvise कि ठीक है इसमें I will allot less time, and then वो chapter, but you have to complete the 100% syllabus anyhow in that 1.5 day. And as I said, in that first study itself, in your study leave, you have to plan कि 1.5 day में क्या करना है. So I had referred to the same set of notes only, मतलब जो मैंने first study में refer किया, ऐसे खुद के कुछ summary notes नहीं बने, आपके जो written notes थे वो and जो main notes थे वो. So उसमें भी कैसे I did was कि I had marked, as I said, I had highlighted all the important things. So I used to just see that keywords, and that's how you have to go in that 1.5 day. And keywords में भी again I said जैसे वो vouching वाले items हो गए, उसमें कोई unimportant items होंगे, वो तो मैंने देखे भी नहीं, and I guess मेरे attempt में cash verification पे कुछ question भी आया था, and I hadn't studied that, मतलब एक time कभी पढ़ा रहेगा, and I didn't know कि ICI के क्या points है, but those are those items कि you can write it by yourself.
But tell me, there's one question which students have asked. I was just going through that because I had asked them to send me some questions.
Okay.
So in the paper, obviously even though you have scored 77, you would have felt one or two questions which you are not able to answer or were not feeling confident. तो आप कैसे करते हो? Go with the flow and you finish it off, or you leave space and you write it at the end? What do you do?
So like coming with the like how I went with the paper, so 3 hours के पहले you get 15 minutes to glance through the questions. So वो 15 minutes में what I used to do is कि I used to like glance through the questions in detail, and trust me वो 15 minutes में जैसे audit में out of 6 any 5 attempt करने रहते हैं, 14 marks each. तो वो 6 क्वेश्चन ग्लांस थ्रू नहीं कर पाओगे अगर वो 15 मिनट्स में, इफ यू आर ग्लांसिंग दैट क्वेश्चन इन डिटेल ना, वो 15 मिनट्स में 6 के 6 क्वेश्चन तो ग्लांस थ्रू नहीं कर पाओगे. आई वेंट थ्रू लाइक 4 क्वेश्चन आई वुड से, एंड 5th क्वेश्चन थोड़ा बहुत देखा था. तो एटलीस्ट इन दैट 4th क्वेश्चन पहले 3 क्वेश्चन तो ठीक है, मतलब उसमें एंड या इन ईच क्वेश्चन देयर आर 3 सब क्वेश्चंस जनरली 4 मार्क्स 5 मार्क्स का वो रहता है. So in that 3 questions, सबके सब 3 questions आएंगे, that's like on your luck. मतलब अगर easy paper आ गया तो ठीक है, 3 questions आपको आते रहेंगे. But it's fine even if you know 2 questions out of that. Trust me, you should attempt that question.
You should go for that
and
question.
third question भी कैसा होगा कि you have to see them. Then for मेरे लिए कैसा था in that first 4 questions, ऐसे एक क्वेश्चन था कि where I wasn't confident. But उसमें से फिर एक क्वेश्चन था 4th क्वेश्चन में, टैक्स ऑडिट का क्वेश्चन था, एंड उसमें मैं लाइक आई कैन मतलब ठोक भी नहीं सकता, लाइक इट वाज कंप्लीटली ऐसे न्यू. तो मैंने वो 4th क्वेश्चन तो फिर स्किप कर दिया था, एंड आई अटेम्प्टेड दैट 3 क्वेश्चंस. नाउ दैट 3 आवर्स स्टार्ट, सो आई यूज्ड टू डू द एमसीक्यूज पहले, बिकॉज व्हाट हैपेंस इज कि एमसीक्यूज में यू डोंट हैव टू अलॉट टाइम कि 1 मार्क के लिए 1 मिनट और 1.8 मिनट्स होता है जनरली 1 मार्क के लिए, इफ यू अलॉट लाइक दैट. बट एमसीक्यूज में इट्स ऑब्वियसली लाइक कोई क्वेश्चन में 10 सेकंड्स लगे, कोई क्वेश्चन में 1 मिनट लगे. So I used to start with the MCQs. I used to be done through with it. Generally 20-25 minutes में हो जाता था. And I don't think my audit के MCQs are quite good. So I was able to finish in that 20 minutes. Then जो भी balance time होता था, now I used to divide in that 70 marks. And generally I used to, in at least MCQ वाले papers, I used to get that 2 minutes per mark. So वैसे जो पहले 3 क्वेश्चन शॉर्टलिस्ट किए थे मतलब वो 15 मिनट्स में वो अटेम्प्ट करना चालू किए, rather than thinking कि बाकी 2 क्वेश्चन कौन से करने हैं, 4th 5th 6th अगर एकदम डिफिकल्ट हुआ तो क्या. आई डिडंट थिंक अबाउट दैट. ये पहले 3 क्वेश्चन मैंने देखे हुए हैं, ये पहले 3 मैंने अटेम्प्ट किए प्रॉपर्ली, एंड या सो फर्स्ट 3 आई अटेम्प्टेड दैट. देन जो भी वो आफ्टर लाइक आई गेस 1.5 या 1 hour 45 minutes अब बैलेंस जो 28 मार्क्स अटेम्प्ट करना है. सो फॉर दैट देन आई वेंट टू द 5th क्वेश्चन 6th क्वेश्चन, एंड उसमें भी जो भी इजी लगा वो पहले अटेम्प्ट किया. बट ये सो इट विल बी ऑलवेज है कि एक क्वेश्चन तो नहीं आएगा, मतलब in that sub questions one question will be difficult, it will be there, and अगर complete like July 21 जैसा पेपर है तो मे बी एक भी क्वेश्चन ना आए. बट what I have realized in audit is that you can write something. Trust me, if you have studied,
you have to trust yourself.
Yes, you can write something and you have to attempt.
If you have cleared inter CA, obviously you have talent. That is why you reached final.
Yes.
So ask them
Yes.
not to lose faith when they are in final CA level. Correct?
Yes, you shouldn't. So you can write something, and so you have to attempt the whole 100 marks. कुछ भी हो जाए, भले वो जैसे मैं अगर ये टैक्स ऑडिट का क्वेश्चन बोल रहा हूँ, भले मेरे को कुछ भी नहीं आता है, बट इवन इफ आई नो दैट लाइक वन वर्ड, लेट्स से कि कोई फॉर्म नंबर पता है, मैं वो फॉर्म नंबर लिख के आऊंगा. बट यू हैव टू राइट समथिंग इन दैट क्वेश्चन, डोंट लीव इट ब्लैंक, नथिंग. या तो अगर कुछ भी नहीं आता है, राइट जस्ट जनरल नॉलेज लिख के आओ. मे बी एक लाइन में भी आपका राइट हो जाए, यू विल गेट 1 mark देयर, इट विल मैटर अ लॉट. It will make that difference like between that 39 or 40, because if you have attempted 100 marks, I would say you will get that marks unless you have written like completely rubbish. Then
कुछ ना कुछ तो देना ही है.
Yeah, हाँ. So if you have studied properly, तो हर एक क्वेश्चन, एंड कैसे अगर जैसे मैं बोल रहा था कि अभी स्टैंडर्ड्स ऑन ऑडिटिंग के जो क्वेश्चंस आते हैं, तो स्टैंडर्ड में यू नो द कंसेप्ट बट यू डोंट नो द इंस्टीट्यूट का लैंग्वेज. मतलब टू रिमेम्बर दैट, टू राइट दैट इन एग्जाम, टू रिप्रोड्यूस दैट इज क्वाइट डिफिकल्ट. So standards of auditing में at least you know that concept, you should elaborate on your concept. मतलब take a holistic view of audit, मतलब how you approach audit, and वैसे write the answer. Just don't isolate that कि ये standard, अगर ये standard ऐसे 210 से, just don't isolate that. Link it with other standards. जो भी ये written representation, ये जो standards होते हैं वो तो आप कहाँ पे भी लिख सकते हैं. Generally वैसे standards हैं. Yes. So वैसे एक points कैसे भी try to put in, and ऐसा नहीं है कि 4 पॉइंट्स ही लिखने. सो जैसे मैं बोला 2 minutes पर मार्क मैंने जो क्वेश्चन को दिया, तो अगर मेरा वो 4 पॉइंट्स जल्दी हो गया तो मैं 2 पॉइंट्स कुछ भी लिखता था,
Correct.
I used to write something.
Correct.
So write that paper वैसा attempt करना है, and so yes, attempt पूरा करना है paper. That's the main thing.
Perfect.
Yes.
Now this is going to, I mean, I'm very sad that this conversation is coming to an end, correct? Because the way you are going on and on, I mean, जो एक point आपने touch किया है ना, no student has given me such holistic view. Although because every student may not recollect also what they have done, correct?
Yes.
But
Yes.
मैंने काफी लोगों से बात की, and earlier also my students have scored all India first in audit. But the kind of holistic view you have given, I must say that other students जिन्होंने exemption score किए, इनकी तरह strategy बताओ ताकि लोगों को भी clear हो. And this is superb. So any closing point that you would want to say for the people who haven't cleared?
So I would say, like, don't lose faith in yourself, because trust me, like again, you won't believe in me after, like, I have scored this AI, but trust me, मेरा first paper, FR का paper, I had just attempted 70 out of 100. Okay, I couldn't attempt complete paper, मतलब time shortage था. So I was so panicked in that, like, 45 days, मतलब result के पहले जो 45 days था, मेरे मन में रोज आता था कि FR में मुश्किल है, अगर 40 भी नहीं आया तो क्या हुआ. मतलब बाकी 7 papers went so good कि वो एक paper की वजह से ना रह जाओ. So I had that fear till the exam day, the result. So I scored 60. I attempted 70 and scored 60.
अभी देख requirement आएगा FR का strategy का बताओ. But Ritik, I seriously suggest the way you have planned, you know, and the way you are expressing. I seriously suggest you should have your YouTube channel and you should upload the strategy of every single subject. It is going to be so helpful for everyone, you know.
Yes, I will definitely try that. So yeah, so one thing I would say that, so don't lose faith in yourself. Like, एक पेपर या maybe 2-3 पेपर तो ऐसा रहेगा ही कि which hadn't went well and which you didn't clear. So that will be always there. Like, even for, trust me, even for a ranker, one paper is always there.
Ranker यानी उसको pressure नहीं होता, ऐसा नहीं है भाई, वो अलग ही होता है pressure. Pressure everyone goes through, correct?
Yeah. So wherever you scored less, work on that subject more. And since you're clear with the concepts, there will be hardly any amendments for the November attempt, I think. May ka generally modules continue.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. So I would say focus more on writing practice now. Maybe test series, jo bhi join kar sako, focus more on that, because you will know ki where you are not remembering things या किधर you are going wrong. So वो लिखोगे, and when someone will correct the paper for you, वो marks देखोगे, तभी you will realize कि ठीक है, I am going wrong. Yes. So looking focus more on writing practice.
Looking at that, we have now appointed a chartered accountant and we are offering a full-fledged test series on our own only. All right. So CA is going to check the paper. All right, because I really feel that all subjects test series requirement is there. Okay? So that
yes. So like, for, as I said, for theory subjects also, you have to attempt a paper. Don't take it as the theory subject. You don't need writing practice. Writing practice may not be needed, like how to write that, you know, since like childhood, how to write the, but वो click होगा या नहीं,
वो ही pressure में click.
Yeah. Yes, what you're putting in that answer, जब सब chapters jumble up हो जाएंगे, whether वो link कर पा रहे हो या नहीं, वो सब you will realize when you give those mock tests and test series. So like, focus more on that. And yeah, so keep preparing. Yes. So all the best to everyone, I will just say that.
So Ritik, you have given me one of the wonderful moments of my life, and I really am thankful to you for that. Correct? And I'm really looking forward for harassing you more whenever students are depressed. Correct? So you can give them a, you know, a motivational dose. You know, only with the way you are speaking will be more than enough for them to understand how to go through.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining in. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir.